Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of RAERAEs Review, where I'm going to be talking about Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 9, episode 16. Things were revealed, child. Oh, some things were revealed. Mia, girl, your slip is showing. Oh, your slip is showing. And Stacey surprised me. I mean, girl. Funny how the tables turn. Turn. Funny, ain't it? I mean, folks will just do a total 360 on you, and you just don't know what's happening. Okay, well, you know what? I'm just gonna start talking because we're gonna get to it. Karen, she's still putting me on the spot from all that tea Ray spilled. Ray was sipping tea, spilling tea from what Gordon told him when him and Gordon met and had lunch at that restaurant. Food looked good. Ooh, if I ever get out there, I'm gonna have to go over there. Anywho, yeah, child. So, Mia just, didn't appreciate it. She says that she can't believe that Gordon would, tell their personal business. Well, ain't that what Mia doing? I mean, of course it's the Real Housewives, but we all know the men be talking too. And just because, see, I don't believe Gordon is so far gone mentally, like she says. It's just so far it ain't believable. It ain't like she had to call a popo. It ain't like she had to call Ink to come up there and rescue her. It ain't like she had to, hide, her and the kids hide. She hasn't said those things. She just says he's this, that, and the third, which is a whole lot more than what he has been. Listen, so far that man has been nothing but cordial, even when she had that other man in her house with her kids, and G didn't know about it. But see, there you go. When you have an open relationship, it's open, and you can't get mad. G, you can't get mad, really. How can you get mad when you had an open relationship? So, that's why marriage is between two people. It's not an open door doggone policy. People want to say, well, we want to define our own marriage. No, marriage is already defined. If we stick to what it's there for and we work within it instead of trying to make it what we want it to be, then people will be a whole lot better off. Don't get married if you want to have all this going on, because this is what you're going to get, a whole bunch of rigmarole and N-word-ish and all sorts of other things, disease and everything else that comes with mess. Ugh. I'm so sick of folks. Just like when you so-called getting a divorce, but you start a relationship moving people in, i.e. Latricia and Ken. If that ain't the worst thing that I've seen it's almost the worst thing I've seen on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Did y'all catch that review? If you ain't, go ahead and watch that. Just go enlighten yourself, okay? But back to Real Housewives of Potomac. So they still there. Mia getting ran on. And then Stacey had the audacity to speak out against them, speaking on Mia and the lies that apparently she was telling. Now, there may be some, inkling as to, her and G's relationship, but that paternity thing, that was concrete. G already told her while they were out there in Panama. But in Panama, she was making it seem like she didn't know who the daddy was. Now she wants to claim, well, that was just a home paternity test. We need to get it is a real test, heifer. And Jacqueline, pipe down, because this ain't your business. And even Jacqueline couldn't really defend Mia. She was there, like kind of in the background, but not really saying much, because there's really nothing that you can say. Mia was caught, especially with that paternity thing. And then Mia, of course, want to bring up some infidelity Karen may have had over the years and DUI. Girl, that ain't got nothing to do with the price of tea in China. Just because she busted you out. And if it was anybody else who busted Mia out, what would she say then? If it was somebody that she didn't know their personal business, what would she say? The whole issue is she should have defended herself instead of lashing out. Instead of just saying, I don't know why G is telling you this. Girl, why are you telling us? You listen. You say you're an open door policy. You're an open book. Okay, so why are you trying to close it? Anywho, so they go back inside. And Ashley's getting ready to perform, and Stacey asked Mia to clarify to the ladies, because it sounds like, whatever Karen is giving is contradicting, and Stacey is against all of that because of how Karen brought up the paternity and the kids in front of everybody instead of privately, and Stacey is against that. Stacey, shut up. You don't even really know what you're saying, what you're talking about. Mia brought that up. And just because it's concerning children doesn't mean that they're talking about the children. That's what, no, they're talking about the parenting. Stacey, if you listen and watch and listen, or if anybody knows Stacey, let her know. Stacey, girl, they're talking about the parenting of the children, not the children themselves. She didn't mention nobody's name, no kid's name. She didn't mention no ill grades. She didn't mention no bad reports from school. She didn't mention nobody getting in trouble at home for not doing their chores. She said the parenting issues of these children. Just like at that first episode, when Giselle had that so-called hat party and they kind of ran down on Mia bringing up her kids in a negative light. See, that just goes to show you, when the other people are talking about their children, they don't bring up ill-mannered things regarding their children. I have yet to hear about, and I'm just thinking real quick. I'm thinking, well, the half ain't on there no more, and that's a good reason why she ain't on there no more. We ain't even want to bring up her name, but for these people on this cast, on this series, they don't bring up ill things about their children or surrounding their children, other than a divorce, but that's not really about the children. You know what I'm saying? So for Mia to do that, it's just real low brown stank. But it's just how she was raised. Like she said, she wasn't afforded certain, opportunities and abilities. So she's working off of what she know. And what she know ain't worth the pot nor the window, if you ask me. But anywho, like I was saying, Stacey pretty much was, asking Mia to clarify. Mia doesn't feel like she has to. She just, is upset that it, backfired in her face. But that's the only thing that's going to backfire. Just wait. Just wait. Tune in. Don't leave. So next we see Ashley perform. She was wet. I'm like, Ashley's not talented. And for her to do a drag king show, now I wonder if they showed all of the different elements of the show. Because when I and my homegirl Erin reviewed Drag Queen, RuPaul's Drag Race, and also RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars. And these are men. Some are trans women, some are trans men. But for the most part, the men who perform are in total drag to where they are a woman personified. But Ashley just had on some fake makeup. It wasn't even a whole face. A wig, slick back, sort of a woman suit. And then she showcased her breasts, which Drag Race don't do. The men don't showcase their attributes, if you know what I'm saying. They stay in the woman personified. And it just wasn't the same. Now, I do understand it's drag king and drag queen, but the whole premise is the same, is to appear to be a man. I just feel like it was gimmicky and it wasn't what it was supposed to get. It didn't give what it was supposed to give. That's just my opinion. Now, I have yet to see a drag king race or drag king show professionally done, but even her mentor did not look like a woman dressed in male drag. Actually looked like a woman playing around in Halloween. No disrespect and no offense. She is bisexual, and that's fine. That ain't really got nothing to do with the prophecy of China. But just to give a more depth, piece to her whole thing that she's doing, it didn't give me drag king. It gave me some girl playing around. That's it is. That's why I was like, this don't look like no drag show. Even now, mind you, I tune in to other YouTubers doing totally different content, like lifestyle content. And out there in Houston, Mama somebody, I forget her name, her drag, her place of business, and they do drag shows. And even there, these dudes, and I hope it's no disrespect, but it's usually a man dressed up in women as a woman personified. And I would think it would be the opposite, a woman dressed in man personified drag. And I didn't get that from her. I just don't. A few humps and bumps when she pulled Karen up there, but that ain't nothing. Hell, women hump on women. Hello. It just, But correct me if I'm wrong, if there's any drag kings out there, anyone who can, shed light, but no. And she's just not talented. I don't care if she can hold a note or two, maybe three or four. It's just, Ashley's not talented to be that way. She's just on reality, and sometimes she don't do that well. I'm sorry. Everybody can't do everything. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. What else happened, child? Oh, no, this part was a little funny. So people showing up. Jassy came. We ain't seen her in months of Sunday. And this woman named Chase, who was a friend of Giselle's, she came. And then Josh showed up. Josh is Ashley's boy toy, who she met on the speed dating. Now, why would Giselle take it upon herself to introduce Josh to Ashley's family? If Ashley hasn't done it, that means it ain't supposed to be done. They're not in a long-term relationship. They're just fucking. Hello. Now, I know Giselle is used to introducing men to her girls whom she is just fucking. We've seen it, 3 times over so far on this show, on this series. That's not what you're supposed to do. But more so, that's not your business to introduce Giselle. For listen, watch and listen, or if anybody know her, Giselle, that's not your business to introduce Josh to Ashley's family and make comments and things about their relate. It's just not kosher, and it was very impulsive, and shall I say, overstepping your bounds, because again, they're just fucking. This man, he ain't even seen her cheering. Anywho, I'm done with that. Next, we see Giselle, Karen, Ashley, and Karen are meeting for lunch. Karen talking about Greg, not liking her to be on the show. Their scales are unbalanced. Moving on. Mia picks Ink up from the airport. That's the next scene. And child, Ink dropped a bomb. The Gap Band. You got the bomb on me, baby. Child, wait till you hear this. So he tells Mia G texted him about the DNA results because he figured he would let him know. He did the DNA results 2-3 weeks prior, and Mia was looking at him like, "Oh shoot." Yeah, so Ink is, questioning the test. Is it legitimate? Now, before he was questioning the test, Mia was concerned because she didn't tell Ink about the test. Now, mind you, I wonder why he didn't ask her, why didn't you tell me? See? And we wonder why they ain't together now. Anyway, let's go back to the scene. So Ink questions the test because, he's questioning the validity of a DNA test only because a DNA test was taken, not at a lab somewhere or at a doctor's office. So what? That's why they have DNA tests, because there's no need for them to be done so-called professionally by a healthcare professional. Anybody can do a DNA test. Quiet as kept. I did one. Anybody could take a DNA test. Hello. Then Mia kind of following his lead, talking about she questions how G did it. Well, that's because he the daddy. He can do it. What difference do it make? Whether you do it, he do it, Dr. Whoever do it, it don't matter. It was done, and there's no more question. So I'm pretty much, securing that G is like, keep that away from my kids. I wonder if G told her that. Mm-hmm. So then Ink was pretty much said, well, before I call him back, I'm just want to, and then she kind of stepped in and said, well, you want to call him now? He was like, why does everything revolve around G? Well, I think because Mia lying to you again about their relationship. Because the way G told it to Ray was that he's trying to make it so that they don't have to get a divorce. They can stay married and to take care of the kids. But of course, he don't have the money that he used to. So Ink has a lot more money than Gordon does at this time. We all know things change, right? And so she's just trying to go where the money at, because that's what she's been doing for the last 10 years, right? For the last 20 years, I think. Ink pretty much asked if they're, because they've been operating without boundaries, why is it that G is always around and trying to for him to chime in all the time? Because that's the situation that it is when you have a married couple, Ink. Ink, if you listen to watching, listening, you're the side dude. You really don't have a say. You're not the father. Nobody's kids over there has been proven. Therefore, you're an outsider looking in. You looking outside from the club and you can't get in, even though you're shooting it up. Ain't nothing going on. Just saying. Unless you create a child, that's the only say so you're going to have up over there. But it's been proven that you are not the father. You are not the father. Mari Povich was not there. Therefore, I believe Mia has been lying to this man, Ink, just like she's been lying to Lane. She's been lying about everything else down there. And so because of that, he is confused as to why things are going on. Things are being told to him. Things are being said, and it doesn't coincide with what Mia has presented to him as a way of life. Yeah, and I think this scene is possibly the start of why they ain't together now as we speak. I believe a month ago, Mia made an announcement that she back with G, or she ain't with Ink no more. I'm just saying, the writing's on the wall, y'all. I can almost bet $10 this scene was the start of why they ain't together. Now, what else happened, child? That was pretty much it. Stacey, she has this, what's this called? What's them dog people called, child? I wrote it down. Where? I'm looking at my notes. What are my notes? That's the difference. Where is it at? She's walking in this this animal fashion show. And she invited the ladies to come over to Vivian's and get dressed up so that they can walk in the show. There it is, Struts for Strays event. Ciao. And so Ashley comes and Wendy comes. Ashley was already came to the dog pound to check out a dog and everything. And so Stacey's handing out pictures of the dogs the girl's gonna be wearing, and then Giselle showed up a little early. Now, the only person that knew about it was Ashley for the most part. But Stacey just took it upon herself to assume that the ladies would do it when they just were told to come and film at Vivian's boutique, and they don't know what the hell's going on. She's just telling them that they're going to walk in a show with dogs. And like, what? Just hell with now we're just hell with this one. She was like, first of all, you didn't even ask me if I wanted to walk with dogs. Stacey said, well, I didn't see it would be a problem. Stacey, you overstepped, and she kind of accepted it, but she didn't like what Giselle said about Karen. Now Karen texted Stacey, and Stacey announced that Karen would not be participating simply because Stacey did not have her back when they were telling me off. And Wendy and Giselle tried to get Stacey to understand, well, when you don't have her back, she's not going to have yours. And tit for tat, one turnaround deserves another. And so Stacey finds it childish, but it is what it is. And Giselle says she's not walking. She will attend. She will write a check, but she don't like dogs. She said she was bit, but not really. In her confession, she was lying. But we all know Giselle be lying, like Mia. Anywho, Wendy is pretty much okay on board with it. No one else showed up. No one else mentioned it. Even in the throughout the episode, no one else mentioned it because they were all doing their own thing. But yeah, so Stacey was molded, trying to make it seem like she wasn't. So pretty much she did it wrong. So Giselle also brought up the fact that Stacey should have checked in with Karen before having us come over to Vivian's, but Giselle didn't know that Stacey has known Vivian longer than she's known Karen. So that whole point is no contention, but Giselle still ran with it anyway. You see how folks do? She don't want to admit when she's wrong. So she just kept going on with that point, which has no point. It's not valid. Thinking that Stacey should have checked in with Karen as the reason why Karen is not participating, because Karen brought Vivian to Stacey. But like I said, Stacey known Vivian longer than she's known Karen. So that's a moot point. But anyway, I'm curious to see what happened at this Struts for Strays. We know Ashley down the strut with a stray. What else going on, child? I think that was it. Yeah, so Stacey is bringing up the mediation to Ashley, and pretty much she's in her 2 out of 3rd mediation. Ashley is still going through it with Michael. There's a point where she has to file something because he ain't doing something, and all this, that, and third. Girl, I don't even care. I never cared in the first place, but I really don't care now. I'm just saying, I wish them all well. I hope the kids are, not missing out and everything, and everybody is well. Anywho, because I never saw it for Michael. I think he's a pervert, and not just because he likes, men and women. It's just the fact of how he does things, going around, pretty much effing people. Just. I mean, he's done it a few times, and he just seems like a pervert. I think he picked Ashley because she's a young girl and he's an old pervert, and having her do all sorts of things. And again, anyone's proclivity is their proclivity, with their choice, their preference. Because I like certain things, some women may not. I'm just saying. So I don't put it past nobody, but it's just how he does things. And any man that old who chooses a girl who likes to play around. But the thing is, I wonder why he married her. Is it just to make things civil or look for it to look better? It just seems like he's just not that type that, would be serious. he's just all over the place with it. And again, like I said, marriage is between two people. It's not a group activity. It is what it is. I'm sorry, not sorry. It is what it is. Now, what was I about to say? Child, these people done got on my nerves, the doggone Michael. Karen and Greg. Karen and Greg, like I said, he don't want her to do the show, but they're having lunch. He's reluctant to even talk in the car. She's trying to bring up the fact that they're having arguments about how she feels and everything, and he's not really responding. He's just making it difficult for her to be a housewife on this show. He doesn't see it for her on the show. He doesn't want her to be on the show. Now, she hasn't mentioned because of that altercation with that copyrighted Sesame Street character lady. But it just seems like he's just, not respecting what she wants. There's no big deal. But again, some people just don't want to be a part of reality TV where there's a lot of, shenanigans going on, because a lot of people who have businesses, will be fearful of them, looking, a certain way. People may not want to do business there for fear of filming or it's just a bad look all around, because a lot of these reality shows be giving off bad vibes. And I don't blame him for that. But then again, that's not what we're hearing from Keiarna. The fact that there's no rationale behind him not wanting her to film. And I'm very curious, is that the reason why? And she's not saying the rationale. So again, she's just trying to get him to talk. So they get to the place. They talk about this. He says they talk about the same things all the time. He just wants her to go with the flow and calm the fuck down with things. She's pouring her heart out because she wants him to not overshadow her light and try to be compromising with her. There's a disconnect there, obviously. She's moving too fast with this man that she's not more so connected with. He says he's not dismissive of her feelings, but she says he is, and he's just adamant that he's not, and he's not accepting any type of responsibility for how she's feeling, as if her feelings are not valid, because he doesn't believe he's doing those things. Ain't that some shit? Now, again, someone can say that I don't see how I'm doing it. Also, I'm sorry for making you feel that way. Let's talk about it later. He could have said something like that. Let's talk about it when we get home. He could have said something like that. But to just dismiss it like girl, anyway, how your drink taste? I mean, that ain't cute. Next, we see them at Vivian's. Like I mentioned, they were all talking about the Next, we see Wendy. She is told that by her husband, of course, that she will be interviewing. What's her name? Let's see. Let me get her name. Her name is. Ooh, where is it? With my notes. I forget, but she's the press secretary, right? And Pierre something. Anyway, she is the first African American or Black Pan-African. I think she's Haitian. Where's that lady from? Because she got this other name, child. She don't have like an American name, but she is Pan-African. I just don't know where I think she's Haitian. Anyway, she is but she is American. Let's just say that. She's American, something American. She ain't, well, I shouldn't say she ain't, because I don't know for sure. But because her name, I want to say she's Haitian American. Anyway, she's a pretty girl. Smart, lovely, beautiful gowns. Anyway, she was the press secretary for Biden, and she's going to be interviewed by Wendy. All right, girl. Then lastly, we see Stacey having lunch with Mia. Now, this is the part I didn't like. Stacey got real gutter and grimy and got down in the dirt like Mia, and pretty much told Mia, well, actually Mia told her that G is spiraling. We don't believe you, Mia. Anyway, talking about G didn't tell her weeks ago, but then the production flashback and he told Ray that he told Mia, which was a few weeks ago. So yeah, what, 2.5 weeks ago versus 3 weeks, Mia? Anyway, we don't believe you. Production said it, G said it, and your credibility is shit out. Next, we see, like I said, Stacey got grimy, telling Mia all of Karen's tea, talking about how Karen said to avoid Mia, she's not Potomac, talking about Wendy is self-absorbed, not to trust Wendy, and she's only out for herself. Ain't that some shit? Okay, Stacey. Now you about to be talked about. That was it, y'all. Real Housewives of Potomac, child. Thanks for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll catch you next time. Bye. All day.